Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. This is my second vlog. And I'm just going to talk about today's adventure. Today is Wednesday, September 22nd. And me and my son went to his evaluation for his IEP today, which should have been done, but you know, it is what it is, mashallah. Anyway, he had to get evaluated for IEP so he can start school, and get a school bus and be in an autistic class. And it's taken a long time because I really had to fight to get him into get him an IEP. Get him an IEP into not put him in a regular preschool class, because that was the conversation they were having with me. They were like, oh, let's just sign him up for school and put him in a regular preschool class for now, and then when he gets his evaluation, then he can get an IEP. Excuse me, I feel like this is all over the place, but anyway, I don't want my face to look so dark. It looks a little better. Anyway, long story short, I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable with having my son in a regular preschool setting because of his conditions of him being autistic. I don't think it's fair for him. I don't think it's fair for the teacher that would have that class. And I don't think it's fair for the students, because he would be the only autistic child in that classroom and would have to try to function like a regular preschool child versus an autistic child. So and I know he wasn't ready for that, and I don't know if that was going to be frustrating for the teacher. It also was going to be frustrating for him as well. So at the end of the day, I'm like, no, I can't do this. I cannot have him in a regular preschool class. And I need him to have a bus because he's autistic. By law, he has to have a bus. He cannot not have a bus because he's autistic. And they were like, we can't do that until he gets IEP and all this stuff. Mind you, my son was diagnosed by his neurologist, so it shouldn't even been an issue. We have the diagnosis letter. He's did early intervention and was also tested for autism through them as well. So they have all this on file. It shouldn't even been an issue of him starting school. He should have been started school, and he has not started yet. But today was the milestone. We was able to have that final evaluation for an IEP, and he was also able to see the speech therapist, and they also got a copy of the diagnosis letter. So inshallah, he can start school maybe Monday. I don't know, but I'm hoping that it starts soon. I'm gonna call his case manager tomorrow and ask him like how soon can he start. But I'm not starting unless he can get his IEP. So it's just a journey. Anybody else that has disabled children, you can probably relate. Or even if you have regular children, sometimes you want the best for you just want the best for your child. And I feel as though, like, for the best for him, speaking for my own child, him being autistic, and he makes noises, and he is overstimulated sometimes, and he may have meltdowns sometimes. I don't want him to be in the regular classroom. That's just not going to happen. I have autistic children in my classroom. I teach preschool, and they're in a classroom with regular kids versus going to a school that caters autism. But it's not easy, and I don't think the parents that sent their children to the school that I work at are in fault for that. I mean, because going through what I'm going through, trying to get him into an IEP, it's easier said than done. Then we have some parents who are in denial that their child may or may not have issue, and that's okay too, because I know it took me. My son is 3. I started to realize he was different when he was 2, when he had just turned 2, maybe close to being 2, maybe 1.5, 2, and I started seeing signs of him being different. He started looking sideways, like instead of giving you full eye contact to the front, he would do, a sideways look, and you could be standing in this angle and he won't give you full eye contact. That was the first sign. The second sign was, at this time, I know it was called being overstimulated or stemming. He makes the noise that you can hear, that you hear him doing now. Those noises started when he was at that age, and once he turned 2, it increased. Those noises increase. Now he does it all the time. It's just it's the humming sound and feel is calming to him, so that's why they say he makes those noises. But they were the 2 signs, and he's nonverbal. That was the 3rd sign. So the first sign was him not giving eye contact. He would look over to the side. The second sign was the humming noises, the long E, and the sound that he does, or sometimes he does like a D sound, d sound, or he, so that was the second sign. The third sign was he wasn't speaking. He was nonverbal. And I thought maybe at first with him not talking, I took it as him being delayed. And I was like, well, he'll start talking. But again, those other signs were clear signs that there was something different about him. And I got him checked because I didn't want to keep saying or hearing people say, you need to get him checked, you need to get him checked. There might be something wrong with him. And it was making me upset because I was like, don't diagnose my son. There's nothing wrong with my son. I was very upset and in denial because I didn't want to think that there was something wrong with my child. What mother wants to be like, yeah, something's wrong with my kid? No, not your 2-year-old baby. Like, no. At this time, I was just like, there's nothing wrong with him. He's delayed. So I can understand when other parents don't want to get their child checked for autism. If you do, I commend you, because at least it could clear your conscience. That's what it was for me. It cleared my conscience of. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get him checked, because if it comes out, he gets checked by the neurologist, and it comes back that he's not autistic and he's just delayed a little bit, then I'll be okay. But if it comes back he is autistic, now we have to work on it, because it's like the earlier, sometimes they say the earlier you catch things, the better. That way you can work on it faster. So they say it was perfect timing for me to, get him checked. And now that we know that he's autistic, it's time to get him into early intervention, because once he turns 3 years old, early intervention can't do nothing for him. So we was kind of like trying to breeze through early intervention. I was getting ready to send him to a daycare, but then the pandemic hit and there was no more daycares open. So we didn't do any of that. So long story short, again, we did early intervention through Zoom. They helped a lot. I wish it could have been more, but by the time we got diagnosed and set up with the people, he was already about to turn 3. He was like 2 months away from turning 3, 2 or 3 months away from turning 3 years old. And like I said, after that, they can't help him anymore. Now we are doing he's going to be in school, preschool, inshallah, and hopefully he can get a whole school year. But the way things is looking with this pandemic, I don't know if it's gonna happen. I really hope that he can, because I think this will be best for him. He's never been in a school, And I think this would help with his verbal development. And he would have more hands-on work with him, which I think he needs, because especially if they could teach him sign language, that would be great. Because half of the time, his meltdowns or his meltdowns, he is the language barrier. So if he starts to go off, it's like we try to play touch and go on to figure out what's going on with him. He communicates in ways that we can understand him, but if he was with other people, they will probably like, I don't know what he wants. You will get really frustrated. So he'll come in, like if he's thirsty, he'll bring his cup. If he wants to turn the tablet on, or if he wants the tablet, he would just give it to you. And if it's off, he just turn it back on. Sometimes he wants it up louder, so he wants me to turn it up. If he wants something to eat, he will take you by the hand and lead you to the kitchen. And alhamdulillah, that he'll eat anything. But some days he won't. So every day is different. Some days he wants just vegetables. Some days he just wants chicken, or he just wants whatever the meat is for that day. He won't eat it all. He'll just eat enough and then go on about his business, which is not a problem as long as he's eating. He does have times where he's very picky, to where he just wants to eat like snack foods, like Cheez-Its, crackers, anything hard, because sometimes he wants that hard crunch. That's another thing. Having autism, they fiend for crunch, so they'll constantly put things in their mouth. So that's what he's doing. They can't get the feel of it, or they want to just feel something like hard, to crunch on. But it's a lot of things that dealing with an autistic child, where he's gets overstimulated, and he tends to jump, or he'll flap his hands. I call them happy flaps or anxiety flaps, because sometimes he's going through something and he can't explain what's wrong, so he'll flap his hands like this, and he'll make the humming e sound. That kind of is a lot, especially when we're out, going to the mall or just out and about, and I can't figure out what he wants, and now he's flapping his hands and he's jumping and making noises. And sometimes I can't stand the looks that people give you, like, oh, what's wrong with her child? Why is he acting like that? And there's like so many autistic children in this world. You should kind of understand when you see this kind of behavior from a child, it must be something. He must be, he might have some type of autism. I remember back in the day, oh my gosh, I don't want to say what year it is. I definitely was in my 20s, and or younger, and I was working in the mall, and I remember a child showing the same signs of being upset and screaming and crying. And I remember thinking myself as like, why is that kid acting like that? If I was his parents or her, I would spank him and all this stuff, not realizing that that child had autism. And I know now that as an adult, and have my own autistic child, and seeing and remembering that kid and the things that child was doing, and I was like, wow, wait a minute, that's the same things my child does. So that kid had autism, and I remember being that one of those people thinking, oh no, why is she allowing her baby to do that? So now Allah has blessed me with a child like that, and now it's much more understanding. Like if I don't have my son and I see somebody else's child having a meltdown and it shows signs of being autistic, it's more, I wish I can help or whatever. I'm like that person. I always wish I can help someone. But it humbles you when you have it, your own child with autism. So, but I don't want to be windy. Like I said, this is just my vlogs, just to come over here and talk. get things off my chest, and maybe I may have answered questions for some people, because I know people ask me all the time, well, how did you know your child was autistic? I just knew. And that was the 3 signs I just said at the beginning of the video, and I could say them again just in case people wanted to write them down or try to, like, don't want to don't never self-diagnose your baby. You should always get checked, because you could be just assuming and something could not be wrong with your baby. Like I said, his signs was not giving eye contact. Well, his early signs, not giving eye contact, and not speaking, nonverbal, and making the humming noise, that or E sound, or that you hear him saying in the background in this video. And yes, he's right on me. I don't want to show you because he's not fully dressed, but he's very affectionate, and that's another thing I love about him. Even the lady that was evaluating him, it was like, he's not violent. He doesn't throw hard temper tantrums, which I'm thankful, because I've seen people, throw their bodies on the ground, or fight, or punch, or bite. Oh, excuse me. Fight, punch, or bite their parents, or people taking care of them. And my son doesn't do any of those things, so alhamdulillah for that. But he's very affectionate, super duper affectionate, and I don't even know if that's just him being a 3-year-old baby. But he is very affectionate. I'm sitting on the floor too. I shouldn't have said that, but I'm like, where's she at? I just wanted to get a better lighting, because I think the last video was kind of dark, and I like sitting on the floor. It's therapeutic, and it's very finger is in the camera. I'm just trying to get a good angle because it's kind of dark and I'm wearing black. But anyway, I sit on the floor too. It's therapeutic, and it helps with the body when you feel kind of tensed up, and loosens up the muscles. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you what happened today with his evaluation. I had to take off of work due to the fact that I didn't know what time it was going to be done, and I didn't want to be rushing to work. It went really well, and now we're just waiting for the last and final meeting to say when he can start school and he can get his bus. I'm so excited. I can feel myself getting ready to cry, because I'm like, my baby's going to school. I get emotional when any of my kids go to school. Like my daughter, she's about to be 15, and she started high school, and I was all like, oh, I got a 15, she's in high school, and she's a freshman. I like her first day of school. Her first day of school, I was like trying to be all tough, like, all right, pumpkin, I'll see you later, have a good day. And when I got in my co-worker's car, I kind of held it back. I was like, oh, my baby. But anyway, yeah, it's just something us moms do. We get all choked up when our kids go to school. So especially the little ones, especially the babies, they're like, oh my goodness, they're babies, they're not supposed to be in school. I hope they don't get treated wrongly or whatever. But Allah always watches over these children, alhamdulillah. He's a strong Muslim child. But anyway, that's neither here or there. This is vlog number 2, and hopefully there's a vlog number 3. And sometimes I'm going to do short videos on my YouTube channel, so you could just click those if I don't post a vlog. And maybe I might put on a different hijab. I just like this niqab because I feel like you can hear me better with this one on. It's much better. Alright, assalamu alaikum. Everyone have a great evening or morning or whatever time of day you're watching this. And leave a comment. They turned my comments off in the last video. I don't know why, but I think it was something like I put it kid friendly. I'm not gonna put that this time. I'm just gonna just leave it the way it is. But anyway, have a good night, good morning, or good afternoon, whatever time of day you're watching this. And I will see you in a few days, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. I did 3 fingers. I had to do 2. Oh my And I'm leaving it, and I'm not editing none of this out. All right, assalamu alaikum.